Ladies and gentlemen, currently making his way to the ring, one of Los Santos' finest, his words not mine, Tank Gunner. Looking to qualify for the big bank brawl. This is a man who has tried so hard to make a good impression on the VWA Academy attendance. And he is beloved by many, despite his questionable past. Everybody loves Tank Gunner, and he's looking to ride that fame all the way to Big Bank Brawl. And you can hear the boos ringing throughout the building. Accompanied by his puppeteer, the leader of the coven, Lilith Azrael. M.A.S.K is perhaps the most mysterious man on our roster. No one knows where he came from or why he is here. All we know is every person who steps into the ring with them is left with scars and bruises. A man who, through his voice in Lilith Azrael, claims wants no titles, wants no accolades. They only want to dish out as much pain as possible. We can only assume that the Big Bank Brawl ladder match is the perfect opportunity for somebody like M.A.S.K to cause endless pain. A man who has had a rivalry with both Adam and Kobe Smith now sets his eyes on the beloved Tank Gunner for the ticket to one of the most important ladder matches in wrestling history on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, Tank Gunner versus M.A.S.K is set for one fall. And the winner will solidify a place at the Big Bank Brawl ladder match for the men's contract. And Tank Gunner, with a very early opening, quickly broken up by M.A.S.K with a jawbreaker, who lines up Gunner on the ropes and is now going to use those ropes to rip him in half. Bear in mind, count out and disqualification are in effect. These two men will need to keep it clean inside and outside the ropes. You see M.A.S.K there wrenching the neck of Tank Gunner, and now keeping control over that arm and wrist, bending his body in ways they should not bend. And a double knee stomp right to the spine, going for the cover very early. Tank Gunner able to kick out before Steph can hit the mat. Big neck breaker and a forearm blow to the back of the head for good measure. This match has been all M.A.S.K so far, but Tank very quick to his feet. Side Russian leg sweep brings down M.A.S.K. And Tank Gunner is in a very unfavorable position. Obviously, you have Lilith Azrael on the outside, perhaps going to bring the numbers game into effect. Tank was able to send M.A.S.K spilling outside the ring. M.A.S.K very quick to make it back into the square circle. But a beautiful net breaker from Tank might have dazed him, or perhaps not. Lifting Tank up with no effort at all, and now M.A.S.K to the top rope with a massive splash. And now once again starting to work on that spine, continuing to control the wrist. Steph is gonna start the count. These two need to get back in the ring if they want to avoid a count out. Count of 4 already. Count of 5. And M.A.S.K once again has control over the wrist. We could be risking a count out here. Count of 7. Count of 8. Count of 9. M.A.S.K needs to get back in the ring, which he does. And a count out. Oh my gosh. That was over so quickly. Before the match was even able to get started, M.A.S.K has absolutely embarrassed Tank, Gunnar, and Qualified for the Big Bank Brawl. Congratulations to the Coven on this insane victory. But ladies and gentlemen, our stage crew is gonna get the cell ready, get the cage ready, because next up, John the Medic Bigson is going to represent EMS versus Quinn Gray, representing LSPD, to finally answer the question, who is best, the PD or EMS? Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a Bolingbroke brawl. The only way to win will be by pinfall or submission within the confinements of the cage. That is up next.